guess I should turn my mic on. Okay. This is a low-key stream. This is a late-night stream. I got some work to do. So we're going to hang out. I guess I should tell people I'm streaming, huh? Maybe throw it out there. There you go. All right. I got some music queued up. We'll listen to that. All right. I got some work to do. So I'm going to be mainly focused on that. This is going to be a pretty chill stream. So I'm going to get some work done. And then I'll probably go play a little bit of Helldivers 2. And then I'm going to go to bed. So if you didn't see, earlier today, a couple hours ago, I posted Sam Filmmaker is coming out with a film same day as our planned release date. So hopefully you'll be getting 2 Helldivers films. Super exciting, super cool. So be sure to go check out his channel. Go support him. Subscribe to him. And he has 3 other episodes of his show up. So be sure to go watch those. Hey Flame. Hey Mad Dog. Hey Titan of Steel. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. All right. Well, for anybody who watches the VOD, I've been getting a lot of questions about DLSS 5. A lot of people have been asking me my opinions on DLSS 5. I'll give you the brief overview. I will say there's like a lot of YouTube videos and stuff going over it. 2 of the better ones that I've seen discussing it are from Mike York Street Gaming. He's an animator, a senior animator in video games. Does a lot of stuff with he worked for Rockstar Games. Did a lot in Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, stuff like that. So I would recommend watching his video, his recent upload about it. And then Olive Badger. She's like an IT tech person. So they have some pretty good videos covering it. And I concur with a lot of the thoughts in there. I think generally speaking, and I've been saying this in the Discord for a bit, I think that the whole DLSS 5 thing is a result of them needing to show stockholders that there has been some movement and there's a reason that their graphics cards and everything cost so much, and that this is gonna be like the next thing, right? I think that's mainly what it is. Do I think it's going to take off? No. The fact that it needs 2 5090s to run, they didn't showcase anything really in motion, which, like, I think is the biggest tell. Like, even when people would start to move, it would shut down, or like they cut to a different thing, because it's like I don't think it's ready. I think if you like if you've ever seen an AI video, you know there's stuff like the skin like almost like moves under the video because it doesn't know what to do or how to shift the pixels. So my guess is they can't quite get that running in real time the way that they want it to. It is more nuanced than I thought after looking into it more. I kind of thought it was just like almost like a filter. Jake Baldino made an interesting comparison, comparing it to like when a TV is like, oh, there we go. My mic might be a little bit louder now. Comparing it to when a TV has like the motion smoothing, which I think is a good comparison. So yeah, Mad Dog. On the tech side, it's basically black magic. On the results side, ew. And I can agree. I think for some of the still life stuff, I was impressed by how it improved it without making it like obviously like a Gen AI thing, but like with the faces and stuff. And I don't know why they leaned into it so hard, and why some of those were their cherry picked results. Again, I think it's a stockholder thing, because I think if they dialed it back to like 30%, there would have been less backlash for sure. And it would have been like, oh yeah, that does make it look better. And that is what I'm used to DLSS being, which let's not fool ourselves. DLSS has been around since 2018. It's a deep learning super sampling, and it's great. It's especially great like working in Unreal Engine, or like kids working in Blender and stuff. You don't need a high powered graphics card to get really high quality results. That's, I think, a good thing. But as Mike York goes over, York Street Gaming on YouTube, as he goes over, and Olive Badger goes over some similar thoughts of, when you like take it and do that, you're just like kind of taking what the artist already did, and just like cutting it to be like the DLSS is gonna handle that, which I don't think is good by any means, especially when like you can pack so many things into video games now and stuff. So and like just the general concern that it'll lower the overall quality of games and such, because there will be less of that investment into making it look the best. Flame of War says, I doubt the AI could keep up with the gameplay, which is probably why they only showed still images. Exactly. That's my main thoughts on it. The fact that you need two 5090s to run that, nah. It's to be fair, they might figure it out by the fall and get it slimmed down and be able to run it on like a 40 series. If they can run it on a 40 series decently, maybe it'll catch on. But even still, especially with like how popular indie games are right now and more stylized games. I know I just finished playing a game. I actually loved it. I highly recommend it. It's called, I'm sure I'm going to butcher the name because it's in French, but Jusant, or Just Ant. It's a great game. It's a climbing game. It's the perfect like chill, relax game. It only takes a couple of hours to play through the whole thing. The mechanics are really strong. It knows when to give you like a new mechanic or like new way to approach a problem, and it doesn't outstay its welcome. As soon as it's like, oh, this is starting to get a little repetitive, then like it moves on, and the game is short enough that it cuts off cleanly. And it's nice, but it's a stylized thing. It's like, it is supposed to be in the art style that it's in. So DLSS 5 is kind of useless for that. And I think when you have games like Battlefield 6, for example, where it's going to be moving too fast to bother having DLSS 5 on, and it already looks great the way that it is, what's the point? The only thing I can see possibly being an argument is like if you can't get your game to that fidelity. But if you can't get your game to that fidelity, who cares? I feel like nobody cares about graphics anymore. I feel like that's like such a like people care about immersion. Can you immerse me in this thing? And I think that's what matters. For example, there used to be a feature in Helldivers 2 that I'm a little sad isn't there anymore, but I understand from like making sure that the game is still performant. But the flamethrowers used to leak like flamethrowers do in real life. So if gas or fuel or whatever, I'm assuming it's some sort of napalm, came off the tip of the flamethrower, and it ignited like there would be little drips, and it looked like it just enhanced immersion. Helldivers 2 is not the most realistic looking game on the market, but I don't think it's trying to be. It's trying to be an immersive game. It wants you to experience Helldivers for what it is. And it still looks good for what it is. Same thing, Arc Raiders. Very similar. Which I've been meaning to play more Arc Raiders. Maybe I'll do that in the Discord here soon, because I have found that it's a game that I really only want to go in with people I'm at least acquainted with. Anytime I've dropped in with randoms, it's like, yeah, this is all right, but this feels like a game that like this game is secondary, so I can chill. But my point being, it's like, is DLSS 5 going to make that a better experience? I don't think so. I think the animations, the motion matching, all of that is what makes the game fun. And the graphics are great without it. So it's like, what would be the point of enhancing them that little bit? So I don't think it's going to catch on. I think games move too quickly for it to be usable. And it's not even usable in its current state, because who has two 5090s in their computer and are casually gaming? Nobody. NVIDIA, when I said I wanted you to bring back ASLI, this is not what I meant. Yeah. And like, the thing is, like, they're like, DLSS has had frame generation like in its models, and like the upscaling and everything, like it is all already there in some capacity, but like it's not altering the image in a way that it is degrading what the intended art that was put into it. I think that is the big thing there, because in the new DLSS 5, it literally takes all the work that an artist would have done and says, okay, but this is how the computer thinks it should look. And it's like, well, what was the point then? So apparently you can have more nuanced control, but that is my 13-minute rant on DLSS 5. So take that for what you will. I have a few more fleshed out thoughts in the Discord. And once again, York Street Gaming and Olive Badger have some pretty decent videos on it that I largely agree with. So, and Olive Badger also put out, she's interesting because she works in IT and stuff. She also like talks about like good or interesting things with AI, which like I appreciate the perspective on. So she put out a video today that was like a guy who, like the headline is basically like, guy used AI to cure his dog. It's way more complicated than that. But it's an interesting story, and she goes over it like in depth and what it took, and like how reductive, like, he was able to make the process to get his dog treatment. The dog's not cured. He didn't cure his dog of cancer, but it has a much better quality of life. One of the quotes from the guy was something about like his dog. He was able to bring his dog to a dog park, and she got excited about something and jumped over the fence, and that was like the most meaningful result of the entire thing. So he was basically at a point where they were telling him he had to put his dog down, and it was like his last ditch, like, is there something that can be done about this? And so he went through a lab and everything, and was able to do like, the research needed to help get his dog feeling better. It's like, that's a good story in all of this. But yeah, imagine the latency with DLSS 5. Exactly. I don't need a good graphic to enjoy a game. I love Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, and that thing is over 20 years old. Exactly. Man. And you just made me feel old. I remember, you want to know what was severely disappointing? All right, last rant, and then I'll get to work. My wife and I, there was like one of the Lego Star Wars games, and it was like free on PlayStation or something. And it was like, oh, that'd be fun to like get and play through. And it has like, it claimed to have all the games. So in my brain, I was thinking, or like all the movies. So in my brain, I was thinking, I was like, oh, it's just the original Lego Star Wars games. And then like the new ones. That would be fun to play through. And so we downloaded it and got into it, and no, they completely slopified this game to where it's like it's all procedurally generated levels and like with minimal controls. And so we played through episode 1 very quickly because it was way shorter than the original game was, and it had like all these unnecessary like bits that was just like, what is the point? Most of the game was walk from point A to point B, watch a cutscene, point A to point B, and it's all voice acted too, which is like bleh. It was such a nothing burger, and that was a huge disappointment. So we need to find the original Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Is that what it is? Perhaps. They've come out and rebooted like the whole thing so many times, and there's so many additions and stuff. But like, I just want the original, because mine was a computer game, and it was in one of those thick cases that was thick for no reason. So like you could stack like half a dozen CDs in there. But like obviously it only came with the one game. And it was thick. I got a thick one for the original Lego Star Wars, the second Lego Star Wars, which was the original trilogy, and Battlefield 2. We had thick cases for those games. All right. That's my little tangent. The way they did Lego Star Wars, I will say, the way they did Lego Star Wars So Dirty was worse than DLSS 5. that I can stand behind. All right. Yeah, it's a terrible game. Terrible game. Okay. Got the music rolling. All right. This is where I go into chill mode. I am going to actually work. I'm not going to yap. So if you have homework to do, if you have your own project to do, if you just want to chill on the stream and game, whatever. The thick cases. Hey, Sam Filmmaker is here. Go check out his channel and watch the new trailer for his upcoming film and listen out for my voice. He's a dissident! You'll know who it is. But yeah, now I'm gonna work on animating and we'll just hang out. So this is just a chill stream where I'ma stop yapping. Or like Mrs. Coalition, just go to sleep. That is also an option. And when chat questions come in, I'll answer them. You'll be eating nachos. Nice. I wish I had nachos. had somebody who said I was in high school, he would call me the Nacho King. Apparently I made decent nachos. Oh no, so it begins. To answer the question, the current length of the episode is like 9 minutes. It'll be probably 11 minutes once it's all totaled up. Wow, that leg was freaking out. I guess we'll just have to constrain it. Yeah, because that's no bueno. Question, will we be doing character profiles like For Liberty, or will that be exclusive to For Liberty? So there are character profiles for each of these characters, because I feel like, at least for some of the episodes, it's important to like give the actors as much context as possible. I suppose I could release them. I think the reason I wasn't planning on it previously was just for like the sake of time. Why is this breaking? But yeah, I might post those. If I straighten out the legs, is it gonna fix this or make it worse? Because this one in particular is rough. Might need to create a quick, simpler control rig. Actually, I think this could work. What is going on with his head? Is that because I had the... Yeah, let's disable that. Good lord. What is happening to it? What is happening to this man's head? He's a contorted abomination. Sweet Liberty, where did the cheese go? It's okay. I still got some right there for you. I still got the cheese in the film. We're good, we're good. Now does his head just not want to behave? What the heck? Oh, there we go. That'll have to do. He's a bit special. You can say that again. Oh, also, I should be on a podcast tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I was invited onto a podcast called The VFX Process. So I talk about For Liberty, I talk about Heroes of the Galactic War. Be sure to check it out. I'm told that it'll air tomorrow. That's right. Bring the cheese. Mad Dog Flame, are you guys currently playing Helldivers 2? I also just realized my man's toes were facing the wrong way. That's why they looked so goofy. We'll get that fixed up. But if you guys are playing Helldivers 2, let me know. I might hop in for a little bit. Yeah, it's a great podcast. I really like what they have going on there. I've been following it for a while. You got Minecraft open playing Helldivers? Okay. I wanna play the new missions, because I don't know when I'm gonna have time to. Because I don't think I'll be playing much over the weekend or in the next week, just while I finish on wrapping up this episode. Which, it's pretty close to fully animated. We're doing a lot of VFX in Engine now, so that speeds things up. So we're just wrapping up the rest of animation and stuff. And then, like, it's a quick edit. I took next week off of work, so it'll go quick. You're about to hop on? Nice. That's tomorrow, isn't it? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow as in Friday? The podcast? Yes. And then next Friday, it should be double film day with Sam Filmmaker's film and my film coming out. I did see that it got released early. That needs to feel a little more violent. Exactly, more crunch. I think it honestly just needs to wait to step. I think part of the problem is the animation that I have on there steps at that point. So I think I'm gonna... But you can make some of this feel more violent just by like shaking the camera and stuff a little bit. I'm mostly focused on the motion right now. Yeah, I agree. Where is your pole vector, my dude? No wonder you're all over the place. And so then at this point, it really needs to crunch down fast. But it also needs to like... I will say in the more recent why does it feel like it slowed down more? The more recent versions of... I see. It's because I'm kind of hacking one animation to go into it. That's feeling better. Add 18 bone crunch sounds. Exactly, 18 bone crunch sounds and a little bit of camera shake. Marissa Shockey 9949 asks, what's your opinion on the new War Bond? I love it. I'm a sucker for the World War I aesthetic. Also, if you're in the Helldivers Archive Discord, I posted my Unreal files in there. So I cleaned up the Unreal Engine files. The ones I got day of weren't the cleanest, so I finished cleaning them up the next day and I posted them up there. So if you want to mess around with it, it's in there, and everything's set up the same character system that we have set up for here is the Galactic War. And my goal is every time we finish an episode to post those in there. Hey, Rinsler. That's what we're doing. Chill animation vibes. That's what tonight's about. The scene is also, you're gonna see how dark it is in a moment. It is incredibly dark. I can show you real quick. So I'll obviously add some more lighting to it. But like there's gonna be like just enough to like kind of identify what's going on. We'll probably do the cinematography on this shot, honestly, just so it's not so dark. But looking at it in, you know, kind of like the unlit, nothing, no lighting there, goes a long way. So we'll light it. It's probably gonna be mostly backlit though. So we'll work on fixing this guy up now. Oop. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to kind of show a little bit of that. Like, what would it be like to, you know, have your foot featured in one of those hydraulic press videos? So the idea is he punches the head because he's got the little sharp gauntlets, like hand wrist things. You want to know what's real nice? Check this out. So this is something else that we can do for the entire series, which is super nice. Is I can go to any of these that I've already posed, and I can go select controls. I'm going to deselect the hand, but then I can hit paste. Look at that. It closes everything into a fist for me. That is now something I can use across the entire series if I want. So I never have to make a closed fist again. I can just have that pose already existing. And I can just paste it in here. So especially when we do things that are entirely hand animated, that's going to be super helpful. Looks like I might have a bad weight right here. So he'll probably get some natural recoil, because when he punches this, the idea is that it's like it kind of gets lodged in the face. And then oh, why did it? Did I do that like too early? Oh jeez, oh man. Yeah, so it should be contacting at this frame. Me and Flame are having a dress-up party on the Super Destroyer. Nice, nice. Like I said, I want to play at least one Illuminate mission before bed. Because again, I don't think I'm going to be playing many video games as I get ready to release the episode. My man's getting bro gotta reach. Big stretch indeed. Okay, so obviously he can't be stretched out quite that long. Can we fake it? Come here, brother. I think if we do that and just keep the camera focused up there a little bit. And then this foot before the camera pans down. So we'll redo some of the camera work here in a second. But this foot for sure needs to be more planted. Actually, isn't there a way to... I thought they added empties, but maybe that's just for rigs. A trusty sphere will do. Could have him hop a little. Almost got him. Yeah. And then this. We gotta clean up that camera work anyway. I feel like he needs slightly more anticipation. All right, let's fix this camera. We'll just pan down before we see too much of that hand. For the sake of like wrapping it up and moving on, I think that's looking good enough. We'll add a couple of lights in here. I'm gonna say it's good enough for now. I can always go back and revisit it. That is the nice thing about this pipeline, is I can be like, that's good enough for now. I just need to move on, and then like I can go back and refine things and see how they actually play back in sequence. Didn't have that opportunity on For Liberty. This shot, always a terrifying one to do in the Rococo suit. Because it's always a man. I sure hope I don't fall and accidentally break my suit. It's a one and done situation. You never risk doing it again. Because take 2 is going to be where it definitely breaks. POV, you step on a Lego. That don't look right. Life alert commercial. That sound effect is our voice actor. Sean, I'm gonna butcher his last name because it's French. Cadeau. French Canadian, I should say. All I can think of is Peter Griffin clutching his knee. Can put him in the Peter Griffin death pose. But yeah, I can see it. Fun fact, fun story. I always thought Family Guy was all right, you know. I was never really an extreme fan any particular way. South Park has always been my favorite of those kinds of shows. Well, actually no, Futurama is my favorite of those kinds of shows. But I was never a huge Family Guy fan until the pandemic, and some dude on Facebook was just uploading all of Family Guy to Facebook. And so when there was nothing to do, it was yeah, you just had 20 minutes when you pulled out your phone to be yeah, Family Guy. I'm hitting another one of this guy's Family Guy uploads. I'll watch it. And so I would sit there and watch a 20-minute episode because there was nothing else to do, and it was nice. Then I moved on. It was actually so during the pandemic, I tried to start a YouTube channel, and the whole goal of the YouTube channel was just like, could you like fabricate like basically like online success? That was like kind of the social experiment side of it. And it went pretty decently for what it was. But then like everything else, like social political, happened during that time. And I was like, I just don't really want to be on these platforms anymore. So I killed it like right as I was getting momentum. Family Guy is hot garbage. Bro references Family Guy, calls it hot garbage. Respect, honestly. I think Family Guy has a lot of... I think it has a lot of funny ideas, but the execution can definitely miss the mark. That's where I think South Park does it better, because South Park does not care. As much as like Family Guy gives the persona that it doesn't care, South Park just actually doesn't. Are you talking about For Liberty again, Mad Dog? I know you mentioned you wanted the director's cut. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that the version of For Liberty you got was the director's cut. You know what I might do? This might break a couple of things, but I think it'll be worth it. He needs cheese. That'll fix it right up. You know what? Honestly, I didn't really let go of my leg in that mocap take. So I'm just gonna say, forget about all this. Put it in IK. Whoa. Not only did he get his foot stepped on, but his entire arm has broken. I see what the problem is. So at this point, the hip should already be on the ground. It's just bad mocap data. The Rococo suit just doesn't handle this kind of motion very well. Looks pretty aight. I'm gonna call it good enough. Hey, we're gonna do something kind of cool. You guys want to do a little simulation? So this is a shot that we did on stream, but I'm gonna change it up. We're gonna do a quick simulation of this guy. Actually, hold up. Let's actually make sure that it's in the right spot. This is what we're gonna do. That is a bulge if I've seen one. Holy. For the astute observer, you might start to notice what I'm doing. Basically what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up these physics so the joints only can swing one kind of way. And what that's gonna do is basically let us simulate him falling over once he's shot, but he's restricted to kind of what I allow. So actually we want this one. We want these locked. Locked, limited. There we go. Yeah, because he doesn't have a forearm joint there. And then this one here, we want both those locked. So it's just the wrist. I tend to find just doing the wrist is usually a good call. And then for the upper, we'll just do that. For the automaton specifically, it gives pretty good simulation results to try to limit the joints kind of based off of what looks like their general range of motion. And then I'll show you my hack for getting really fast. Simple simulation. I'm going to leave those alone. So then I'm going to take, that's the root. So I'm going to say, take this and everything under it and make it simulated. That's kind of how he's going to fall. Something to the attune of that, but then we're gonna do something to fake how he falls over. So what we'll do is, this is the asset that now has it. We're gonna put it in the same spot as this guy. More or less. Close this down. So now this guy exists in the level, and when we simulate it, he's supposed to fall over. Nothing. Zilch. Nada. Okay, there we go. So, now I'm just going to drop in a couple of primitive shapes for him to fall against. If I really wanted to get technical, I could give this whole thing collision, but it's you know, it takes a lot of work to get clean results that way. Whereas this method just kind of allows you to set it and forget it. Because then I can go in here and just grab one of my invisible materials. I have plenty. Now if I simulate, he falls against it in the way that I need him to. But I want him to fall kind of backwards. How do we get that result? I'll show you. We grab another one of these. We stick it kind of in his head. And now he's simulating. And there he goes. Fall it over backwards. So I just kind of do that until I find something that I like. Because it basically forces him out of the bounds of this. And then once it's looking the way that I look, like, kind of like it, I just record it. What happens if I make this longer? It's kind of neat. That's a... Is that going to be a semi-consistent result? You want to know what I think the problem is? I think we need to increase the weight of each of these. How... What if I made this like 250 kilograms? And the legs, we'll just leave at 100 kilograms each. The thighs, at least. Okay. We're getting somewhere. I feel like that's feeling pretty good. But now I could take this goofy goober and I can go to take recorder. Add this guy. And now I'm just real quick gonna record and simulate it at the same time. So that's one option. Two options. Three options. And then we'll do one where we just like kind of just try to blast him over the edge. Just really get in his personal space. Okay. Might have crashed the engine. We'll wait and see. How's Sam Filmmaker's trailer doing? Have you seen it yet? Have you gone and watched it? You should have. Holy crap, it's already 11:26. I did start the stream super late. Thank you, Unreal, for not crashing entirely. Sam Filmmaker, what we at? 2.4 thousand views. Nice. Nice. Once again, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. And like Flame of War said in the Discord, there are multiple episodes too. So plenty to go and do. I'm gonna de-sim physics on this guy. What time zone am I in? Eastern Standard. So it's 11:30, so I'll probably finish up this animation. Play like a game in Helldivers and then go to bed. I don't have the same stamina I did with For Liberty. I think that was my Spider-Man losing his powers moment. Which, oh, did everybody see? I'm sure everybody saw the new Spider-Man trailer. It looks okay. Honestly. I liked some of the frames. I'm just over Marvelisms, you know? Like, if it wasn't tied to the MCU, I think it would be fantastic. I think it's the, like, I don't care that nobody remembers who Peter Parker is. I don't care that he wants MJ back. I really don't. And then, like, it kind of felt like they were trying to show, like, oh, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this. Or Bruce Banner's in this. Ooh. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's such a simple plot thing. Where, like, because, like, when I saw that he goes to Bruce Banner, I was like, well, that's just a super simple, like, hey, you don't know who I am, but, you know, all that crazy stuff that happened with Thanos and the fact that people got banished away for 5 years. Well, I'm this guy called Spider-Man, and I actually helped save like a bunch of that, and we worked together. And you know that Doctor Strange guy? He cast a spell on me, and now I can't do it ever. And like, sure, you could say there'd be some like Mandela effect, but I feel like it'd be super easy to be like, actually, that checks out in all the magic weirdos stuff that we've been through. That checks out. That's the biggest problem with the MCU. Is it's shot itself in the foot so many times and opened it up to so many vulnerabilities that it would just like, I don't know. It just makes it not interesting anymore. How's it going, Luke? Ugh. I'm gonna call it here in a minute. Jeez Louise. I guess that one. Let me bake out that animation we just recorded. Hey, Luke coming in with the $10 says, if you think about TSA being in Cars 2 means 9/11 happened in the Cars universe, which begs the question, was it a plane that did it or a car that hijacked a plane? Well, that's a good question. Because the planes are autonomous, aren't they? I guess they're not necessarily controlled, because there's also in Cars 2 they show like a battleship, and like the battleship is obviously autonomous. So unless the the planes don't have total autonomy, but based on the movie Planes, there's no indication that they wouldn't. Can car fuel melt a car? Made seal leaves. World War II did happen, since there are vehicles from World War II's in cars. True. True. I feel like Cars like unintentionally opens up a lot of things that like I don't think ever necessarily crossed their minds as like would be lore. I think it's reasonable to say that they probably had like a some sort of world war, especially because there's espionage in Cars 2. So there was obviously like some sort of very active Cold War in the Cars universe. Also, why are there sinks in the restroom? You know? I think there's probably like an explanation for that you could probably come up with. Like a counter in a garage. I mean, there's a lot of things in the Cars universe that's like, why would a car have that, you know? Or like, why would a car find value in having that? Like shelves. Why do they have shelves? They don't have hands. Yeah, but they obviously grab things like the trophies and stuff. They're obviously like grabbing and finding different ways. And some of them have like little hands. I feel like that's something that they kind of came up with a solution as they needed it each time the instance came up. You've never watched the Cars movies? First Cars, great. Uh, it's kind of your classic Pixar, checks all the boxes. Good movie. Cars 2, hot take, also good. Good movie, bad Cars movie. It's fine. My son went through a decent a decent stage where he watched Cars 2 a bunch, and so in that stage we watched Cars 2 a bunch, and I was like, you know what? It's not as bad as like some people say. When did the first one came out? 2006. 2006 or 2007. I believe it was 2006. My brother was pretty into it when he was a kid. He was in that like primo age for Cars when Cars came out. Where did bro go? Okay. So this did record correctly. Wonderful. Except it needs to happen over here. Well, you know what made her? It's a bad car. I don't know what. If you want to go on some crazy rabbit holes, here's a couple of movies. Okay, I probably saw it when I was younger because I remember life snippets of something in Cars childhood movies. 1 amazing, 2 not good Cars movie, but good spy movie, and 3 wasn't good. Yeah, 3 was just like, I don't know. It tried too hard. It and it was like, please just don't. Like, that's what it kind of seems like Toy Story 5 is gonna do. It's what Toy Story 4 kind of already did. Toy Story 4 barely squeaked out. Live in a open air graveyard slaughtering other cars and no one says nothing. What are you on about? Mater's not a good car because he owns a garage or whatever. Oh, I can kind of see your point. I see your point. That's a good point. Movie rabbit holes to go down. Get your lists ready. Land Before Time. There's some interesting lore there. Nothing like too crazy. Like this is insane. But like it's interesting how it developed because it was basically gonna be what Jurassic Park became, but they didn't think it would perform well. Like as a kids movie or like as an animated movie. So Jurassic Park was originally going to be an animated movie because they couldn't do the dinosaurs at the time. And so that was the whole plan. And then people were like, well, nobody's going to go see a scary animated dinosaur movie. And so The Land Before Time, which like makes so much more sense watching it back as an adult and somebody who works in the video and film industry, because I was like, why is this edited so weird? And it turns out it's because it had to be recut so many times because it was deemed to be too scary. So there's a lot of interesting lore behind The Land Before Time. So Land Before Time is an interesting one. There's another one. This one's kind of sad. But the movie Milo and Otis. Milo and Otis was another one that I went to show my son. I was like, oh, he'll like this. It's animals. I remember liking this when I was a kid. And then I was watching it. Once again, I was like, how in the world did they film this? There's no way you can film this. Like it's too crazy. Like, where was PETA kind of a thing. Turns out Milo and Otis is like a Japanese film that ran out of money. So in the United States, they re-edited it. They like somebody else bought the rights, re-edited it, and had Dudley Moore narrate it. But it has the most insane production stories because they got so many animals killed in the production of it. It's sad in that way, but it is fascinating that like the time that it came out and the fact that it was like only really possible for a movie like that to exist at that time. Yeah, there were no like animal laws or anything. And so like it's kind of crazy. So that's another one. Another crazy one. And like this was all born out of, there was like a stage where like me and my wife, we were going back through and watching movies we remembered liking as kids. And then it was like the movies just were not nearly as good as we remembered. It's like, so then we just went on like these giant rabbit holes. But the other one, has anybody here seen or heard of the kids movie that goes by two names? You either saw Scamper the Penguin or Lolo the Penguin. This one's a crazy one. So like, this was a kids film that I'm gonna get some of the facts wrong because it is so crazy and it's hard to remember the specifics of the rabbit hole we went down. But it's basically a kids film that was okay. So I grew up watching the version that was Scamper the Penguin, which was like, it was narrated, it had music, and like everything was like a lot cuter and like a lot safer. I'll put it that way. You've seen 3, 2, 1 Penguins? Goated. But so Lolo the Penguin, was the exact same movie, but so there were basically like 3 different cuts that were made. Essentially, I can't remember if it was like the Soviets or the Axis powers or what, but so like the original version is Lolo, and Lolo the penguin was like way more violent, and my wife was like, "Oh, I don't like this movie because there's tons of blood in it, and they like it like it's like a kids movie, but it's like graphic." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Yeah, and they like shoot the penguins, and like they like they bleed out and like all this stuff." And I was like, "No." I was like, "Wait, there's no way we're talking about the same movie." And we watched the version that I grew up watching, but then we went down the rabbit hole of like what what is she talking about? And so there were two other versions of it that were distributed, and the one she saw was, and again, I can't remember if it was the Soviets or another kind of Axis power, but they had like distributed a completely different version of the film that was supposed to make them, because they play the humans in the film, that like there are researchers who are the humans, and then there are these like basically like American poachers, and so like the researchers are like the good guys, and they save the penguins, but the poachers are the bad guys. But in the version that I watched growing up, everything was just redubbed in American, like in English. Um, and so there was that version, and then there was another version that was distributed, I believe, in Australia. And the only thing it didn't feature was all the gore, but everything else was the same as like the Soviet version. Um, Lolo is Japanese. Okay, so that's what it was. Um, yeah, and so like it's just so weird. But I guess at my wife's grandmother's house, she had a copy of the one that was like gory and stuff, and they like that's what she saw as a kid. Scratch that. It is a Russian coming of age film. That sounds right. That sounds correct. Yeah, it's a crazy, and it's all over the place. Like it's very hard to find something that's consistent, but you can find like the clips of the original movie with all the gore and stuff, and it's kind of crazy. That's yeah. See, I found it. This is nuts. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. Um, but then then the American version that I saw growing up is all cutesy, and there's songs, and the songs they didn't exist before. It's so strange. So that's a weird one. So we went over Land Before Time, Scamper, Milo and Otis. There was something else at that time that we watched. I don't remember. But Scamper slash Lolo the Penguin was by far the craziest. It is absolutely wild. If anybody finds like further details. Gonna do your part for the regime? I probably am too, honestly, in the next couple minutes. Because I want to play the new Illuminate missions. Oh. Poop. I did that on the wrong one. It's Remaining Arc. Let's go. It looks like the correct title is... Yeah, exactly. That does look like the correct title, though. Ark, it's been a hot minute since I've seen you in the chat. How you doing, man? Good to have you here. So he definitely needs to be taller at the beginning. And then fall. But let's get him up. If you eat 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes, you would die of radioactive poisoning because a certain amount of potassium is radioactive. Interesting. Ark says, yes, sir. Been slacking on YouTube streams on York's and everyone else's. It's all good, dude. Life gets busy. There's stuff going on. All that jazz. All right. Maybe I'll do this last one. Do this last one. Call it quits at midnight. Flame, if you and Mad Dog are still on Helldivers, I'll boot up after this because this should be a pretty quick animation. How's everybody else enjoying the new Warbond? Everybody else enjoying living the worst day of a 19-year-old's life? I have a pretty long day tomorrow too, but totally would not choke to death on a banana. You guys like listening to the same part of Dunkirk over and over again? Wow, 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 wow. Nice. The minigun is a good time. The minigun is pretty cool. Or the maxi gun, rather. Speaking of Python commandos, I have a script sitting in my inbox from one of our other writers, Luke Ryan. So I need to give that a read because that is the Python and Viper commando script. So we got that one. We had a meeting on Monday. Had a meeting on Monday about the episode 2 script. That went really well. Just wanted to pop in chat and say hi because it's been a minute. I'm going to go see what's going on in York's stream and head to bed. It's late. You all-nighter animator. It is late. It's midnight over here. And tell York I said hi. I didn't know he was streaming tonight. I've been meaning to jump in his streams, but he he keeps doing them and later, and ever since I moved back on the East Coast, it is very hard for me to catch his streams. But I definitely want to. But then he will stream on Thursdays at times, which is usually when I'm streaming. I played my first game after several months break today. I hope you enjoyed that game. I hope you had fun. Ooh, Wasp is playing Helldivers too. Yeah, I'll be getting on here in a little bit. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do here is take the verdict. We're going to take that verdict, and I'm just gonna put it in his hand because I think this is gonna move quickly enough. This looks marginally inappropriate, but pay no attention. I'm just animating a scene from Deadpool. Yeah, he's 2 hours behind now, which makes it increasingly difficult. But I love joining York's streams. I love watching York's videos. I've been watching way more, I feel, in the last couple of years, just like smaller YouTubers. I like watching their content more. Like, really, the big YouTubers that I watch are like Charlie. Plot, will you be joining us? Yes, in just a minute. I'm going to finish up this animation. And then I'd love to jump on and play at least one Illuminate mission. I'll probably hop in one of the like Liberty or Demo Coffee, if that's where you guys are. Because I don't think my brain could handle more than a handful of voices right now, I'll be honest. I worked super late today too, like just at my regular job. I was working until like almost 7. But because I took time off next week to get the episode done and stuff, I wanted to make sure that I got all my stuff done for work. Oh, I guess I got to attach this to his hand. Have you heard of the marginally successful YouTuber named Mr. Beast? No, who's that? Does anybody like like obviously Mr. Beast still gets millions of views and whatever, but like does anybody like believe it still? Or have they adopted common sense? L, he just ended his live because his baby woke up. So I'll catch you next week. All right, Ark, you have a good night. This is a particularly late stream for me. I'm usually streaming much earlier, but we also streamed earlier this week. Catch you later. My bed's becoming too comfortable. Hey, you have a good night. I'm glad you got to enjoy some Helldivers earlier. And I hope you get a good night's sleep. I always appreciate you coming in the stream, Luke. And thank you for that $10 donation once again. You are the good. I will say, something that I feel like I get right, at least as much as I can, is how weapons are actually held. I feel like I do a decent job of that. I did need to fix the way that there's something weird going on with the textures on this model. I'll focus on that later. That's feeling pretty good. Let me just adjust the camera and then we'll call the stream. We'll call the stream for the night. Oh. Maybe even sooner. Hello? Can I? Oh, it's because the... All right, I feel pretty decent about that. We made a decent amount of progress tonight on stream. We're making decent progress. Still a bit of quite a bit of cleanup to go. We're making good strides. Good strides. And then this was like one of the more complex animations I was working on last night that I got everything else done for. I'm just waiting on my animator, one of our animators, to send this character's animation. So once that's in there, that's like a good chunk of this whole section. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to call the stream there. I'll be hopping on Helldivers with Flame of War and Mad Dog for a little bit. And then whoever wants to be a fourth, I suppose. But thank you all for coming, hanging out. Chill stream. Just a chill guy. You know? But you all have a great and wonderful night. And we will be seeing you soon. I don't know about next week. We shall see. With the film coming out and stuff, maybe not. But that is the plan. All right, all. You have a good